All right, we're starting this episode off with zero plan, giving myself no time to think about whatever I'm going to say or talk about. So here we go. It's episode 81. Going to be the highest scoring game of our career right here. Hopefully you get the reference. But so I did it yesterday. I made it happen yesterday. And I'm going to turn my car off. Yesterday, I ordered samples. So, samples have been ordered. I have made the payment. That was taken out this morning. I got linked with my new brand developer as well as the product developer. And I got linked with them. We're in an email chain now. I paid the fees, $300. So with tax, it's $309. So $309 for a 31-serving tub of pre-workout. So, it is official. We have ordered samples. We have made one of the first steps in launching a pre-workout product or a supplement company. And yeah, dude, so it's happening. Paid $300, got the sample ordered. Here we go. And so they told me about 8 to 12 business days, so I'm just going to expect 15 just cause. So, 15 business days from today, including today, would be the 26th of January or the 29th. I guess it depends on if they count the week, if they work through the weekend. But if it's on the short end of 8 business days, then we get that shit next week, dude. So 8 business days will put us at the 18th of January 2024, which is next week. Today's January 8th, 2024, just for documentation purposes. So yeah, man, I'm very excited about that. We'll see what happens. I really don't know what to expect. I don't have a lot of knowledge with this type of thing. But I have ordered samples of clothing before, so I know how amazing it feels to have my own product in my hands. And I still wear my own clothes. I only have 2 of them left. The rest I gave away to my little brother because it's a sample and there's a lot of specifications that were absolutely wrong. And so they don't fit well at all. And so, yeah, I gave them away. So somebody out there's got a lot of one-of-ones. But, yeah, anyway, So fuck yeah, dude. January, technically the 7th is a big date in my business history, my business life here, because that's the first day that I ordered samples for this product, this idea, this company, this vision that I have. So fuck yeah, dude. I'm very hyped about that. Let's see. So ordered samples. I had an incredible workout session. It was actually part of my power list. So my power list for today, so we can pull it up here, is pay off debts with $2,000. So here's the thing. So it was $3,000, but I'm gonna use $2,000, and then I'm gonna buy tires with the 1,000 and get that figured out. Because it is snowing now. It is the roads. Some roads are horrible. I've already been sliding around. I've already had a few close calls because my tires are absolutely dog shit right now. And I definitely need to get that taken care of sooner than later. So tires aren't cheap. I got 19-inch rims, so that's cool. But because they're 19-inchers, they cost more. So that's great. And I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's not a flex. They're just 19 inches. And I don't even know if that is a flex. But I know that the bigger they get, the more expensive they are. I'm not a car guy, but I will own a Lamborghini one day. So that's that. Next thing we got is record episode 81 of the podcast. And I know I said I wasn't going to put that on the power list, but I don't know, man. It's just shit that I got to get done. And I know I'm going to do it anyway, but I think that's the beauty of it. It's something that I have to get done, but I know that I will get it done. So I think that's even more reason to put it on there, to knowing that I'm going to accomplish my power list. I think that's the best feeling ever. So record episode 81. And then fourth one, which is what I just got done doing, it was increase intensity for chest workout for yesterday, after a strong bench session. And so part of it wasn't true. I didn't do a strong bench session. I anticipated doing 235 for at least 4 on bench, but I always do this thing where I say, you know what, do my upper chest and my lower chest. We got to focus on that shit for once. So I'm going to start with incline bench and then go to decline bench. And then I walk into the gym and then I'm like, you know what? Flat bench, high weight, and that's what I do. But today I thought, dude, we're gonna do what we said we're gonna do. We're gonna do the incline bench press, and I did 185 for 7. Couldn't get an 8th, But yeah. So we did that. It was a great chest workout. I even put some triceps in there, which I haven't been doing. I haven't really been training arms at all, actually, which is crazy because my arms have gotten a lot bigger, which is also a great feeling. But, I'm back to that point where I think that I have almost, and I want to say this very loosely because I don't think it's true, but for lack of a better way of explaining it, it's almost like I've peaked naturally because I've gotten back to this point fairly quickly. And now I'm back, and so now, I think now I'm being more critical of how I look and the size of my arms, my legs, things like that. I'm thinking of being more critical of that, and I'm paying more attention to it. So it seems like the progress is slower. I don't know, neither here nor there, but I just, whatever. So, and then the fifth one was meal prep all my lunches for the week. So here's the thing, dude, and I'm proud of myself for this too. Yesterday, and here's the thing, so make fun of me all you want, I don't care, but I have such an incredible opportunity here living at my uncle's house where my aunt actually prepares food for the entire family for all meal preps for breakfast and lunch for the whole week every Sunday. She does that, well, I guess Monday through Friday, but I guess she's always done that. And so when I moved in, I just fit right in, and so she continued doing it. And so I'm very lucky to have that. Otherwise, I would have to be doing the grocery shopping and meal prepping. And it is such a luxury to have that taken care of for me. So, make fun of me all you want. We got Aunt doing all the cooking and stuff. Oh, poor bride can't cook his own meal. Yeah, I know. Gotcha. So she's been doing that, and it's great. But I know that I need to get to bed at a certain time. And she got home later last night and wasn't able to have a lot of the meal preps completed by the time that was convenient for me. Because I go to bed early as shit. So I went to bed last night at 6:50. So that I could wake up, actually, today at 2:20. Instead of 1:45, I did 2:20. And I didn't run this morning. I'm getting off track, but I didn't run this morning. I did an ice bath, and that was so fucking hard for me. And I'm actually excited to do it again tomorrow because I know how hard it was, and I'm excited to push myself to that next level because I've always talked about it on the show. I've always talked about, man, I just got to do ice baths in the morning. We'll get to that level, though. We'll get there. Fuck, it's tough. And then I got to it kind of where I was running before and it was rough. But now I woke up, I read, did some stretches, did some gratitudes, and I said, okay, time for an ice bath. And I went out there and I did it. So that's great. But anyway, all that being said, go to bed really early. So my aunt didn't have any food prepped. And that's okay because I was like, you know what? She's providing such a great luxury for me and the rest of the family. If she happens to not provide this luxury for me, it is what it is. I'll have to do my own shit. And so I did. But she continued to meal prep. I just had to meal prep something super quick in the morning, this morning. Took it to work, ate it. It was delicious. But now, because I didn't do it yesterday, I have to do it tonight. So that's on the power list. That's the shit I got to get done. For sure. That's part of a huge chunk of the reason why I'm killing it right now. It's just having so much structure, planning out all my shit, having everything taken care of. The only thing that's required of me is to execute on a day-to-day basis. And it's so funny because when I'm waking up hella early and I'm getting my shit done and I have to work for 10 hours, those are my most successful days. The days where I can sleep in or I can, take it easy, or the days where I only work 6 hours at FedEx or even 4 sometimes. Those are my hardest days for some reason. Not for some reason. I know why. It's because there's no structure. There's no planning. I don't really have a lunch. I don't really force myself to get out of bed at a certain time. There's a lot of different things that I don't force myself to do. And getting out of bed in the morning and doing a lot is much more difficult. But if I am, for example, so this morning when I worked base, I had to get up early. I had to get all my shit done because, there's more people that have to use the bathroom in the morning than just myself. So there's a lot of just extra pressure, I guess we'll call it. Extra reason to do the shit. Extra, it's kind of like 75 hard if you don't do your first workout before work. Then you have to do 2 at night and it just fucks up the whole night. Then you have to spend so much extra time with your night to do the shit and then fucks you over for the next day because maybe you go to bed and it's just a whole domino effect. And I've talked about this so many times, but yeah, dude. So we did that and I forced myself to go to bed rather than waiting up for her to finish cooking. And I did that. And I went to bed knowing that I didn't have that structure, but that I would figure it out. And I did. And that felt good. And so I woke up, got my shit together, went to work, came home, or got off work, went to the gym, just got done with the gym. Now I'm sitting in my driveway, and it's 4:10, so we got about 20 minutes left, and then that's when the schedule would start for the power list. So I have 2 hours then to do all my shit, and that would be, we got to pay off the debts, to buy tires, the record this podcast, which is cool because that's getting done, and then we have so I can cross this one off, the intense chest session. So what I didn't talk about that, but usually what I've been doing is just 4 exercises, 3 to 4 sets each with no intensity techniques added, just some straight sets and reps. And I've kept it that way just because I was easing back in. I haven't changed it since. And when I say easing back in case you haven't heard in the last few episodes or the last 80 episodes, I took 2-year hiatus because I was just going through a lot of shit, and I was a bitch and let my excuses get the best of me. I was lazy and I didn't do anything. And so as a result, I didn't execute on anything. I didn't hit the gym. I never took care of anything like that. And so I lost a lot of strength, a lot of size, a lot of everything. And so rather than jumping straight back in and potentially achieving an injury, I eased back into it, just did some 3 sets of 10 for 4 exercises, and that's what I did. And I'm still kind of doing that. Obviously, I'm changing up the reps, changing up the sets, changing up the exercises, but getting back to that point where I was following a periodized program where it was like a 12-week program, and every week something changed, and the intensity techniques changed on a 4-week block schedule, all this shit, blah, blah, blah. I haven't done that yet. So I wanted to make my chest workout something a little bit more intense. So I started off with incline bench, and then I did 2 supersets with incline bench and flies, and then flat bench and flies. And so that was a total, if you count a superset as 2 sets, it was total, let's see. So I think it was technically 18 sets, it was about 18 cents. Nice, 18 sets. Anyway, so that's what I did. So that's done. So I completed that off the power list. I feel good. I got that shit done. So next one is record a podcast. So in about 10 minutes, that'll be done. It's a great feeling. So now I'm going to go in there. I'm going to force myself to drop $2,000 to get out of debt on some shit, which is also a great feeling. And I'm going to buy tires. I'm going to figure it out. Hopefully I can buy tires because I got to call a few tire places, figure out if they will even take the tires that I order, if they'll take the shipment, and then I got to schedule that shit. And I don't have the best schedule to schedule, a tire appointment. So I might have to use leave for work, but nonetheless, we're getting the shit done and it feels good. And it's so interesting to me that I have the best days when I have the most shit going on, And it's also interesting to think that, so this is how I think about it. So I got something going on with my fucking nose. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Fuck. Sorry. It's gross. But to think that, so I wake up in the morning, well, just for even numbers, I don't care. I wake up at 2, get all my shit done, and I'm leaving for work by 4:30. So that's 2.5 hours that I'm able to read, ice bath, stretch, gratitudes. I guess drink a quart of water, meal prep, get all my shit packed, all my food ready, whatever I'm going to eat. To think that I get all that done in 2.5 hours, and then to think that from 4:30 to the time that I would get home if I didn't hit the gym, which would be around 2:45, we'll just round it up to 3. I'm losing time there, but to think that from 4:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., I could be doing nothing. And to think that I'm having the success that I'm having now with building resilience and mental toughness, building discipline, getting my shit done, ordering samples, paying off debt, all the things that I'm doing right now, to think that I'm just taking a chunk of my life, dedicating it to something completely different, completely unrelated to anything with my goals. I mean, I know I need money, but to think that I'm doing all that with that chunk of time right there, which would be, that's 10.5 hours right there, to think that that's gone and I'm still doing what I'm doing, and then to think that I'm going to get that time back when I am able to quit my job. Dude, that is such an unbelievable thought, to think that I'm going to have 10.5 hours extra per day to work on my business, to work on the power list, to work on to get my shit done every day. So that's an extra 52.5 hours per week, dude. That's just insane to me. So I'm very hyped about that. Whenever that day comes, when I can comfortably or safely or, you know, whatever you want to call it, quit my jobs and do this full time. Whenever that happens, that's going to be a glorious day, because that's so much time to get my shit done, to get more shit done, to put more emphasis and focus on things that I want to do. And so that's very exciting. So I guess that's a very humongous perk. So I guess it depends on how you look at it, right? Because to some, to me, that's a fat fucking perk if I can work for 10 more hours per day on the shit that I want to. But for other people who might not have the same perspective and vision, I guess that would be shitty, because they would say, wow, you're going to work 10 and a half more hours per day. That sounds like shit. And dude, I'm hyped about that. Holy fuck. Imagine getting 10 and a half more hours per day to work on whatever you're trying to work on. Just imagine it's time to go to bed, but actually you have 10 more hours and then you can go to bed. But you're not tired. You just so much time, dude. So that's a perk for me, but I guess that would suck for other people, you know? I mean, I think that's where the line is drawn right there, because people say, oh, you're working all the time, it's miserable. But dude, if you fucking love what you're doing, how is it something to be... People are lazy as fuck, dude, and that's all it is. If I would say to the average person, oh, I quit my job and now I get 10 and a half hours per day to watch Netflix and play video games and whatever, people would be like, oh, that's fucking sick. You're living the dream, you know? But that's not obsessive. That's not overkill. That's not spending too much time on one thing. That's not fun. You know, that's crazy to me. It's just about what you enjoy doing. And it's just the average lazy, mediocre mindset of thinking that anything that's not Netflix and chilling and video games and all that shit is hard and is work or whatever. It's not fun. That's so interesting to me. Dude, here's what happens. Dude, so every time I talk with somebody new in my life, and we're just talking, we're getting to know each other, whatever it is, somehow movies get brought up. And I always have to say, hey, I apologize. I don't know the reference. I don't really watch movies all that much. And it's always this. I'm no shit. Every single time that I say this, 90% of the time when I say, oh, I don't really watch movies all that much, it's always this. And no shit. Oh, you don't watch movies? So what do you do then? And it's so interesting to me, because it's like the alternative to not watching movies is a life of just unknown. Oh, this guy doesn't watch movies, so what could he possibly be doing instead? That's crazy. He doesn't watch you know? And I don't understand. It's always that. So what do you do then? And then, of course, your boy's embarrassed to say that. I don't think it's actually embarrassment. I think it's just being afraid to be seen as fucking cocky-ass, arrogant, pretentious prick fuckboy, you know? What do you like to do in your spare time, dude? Oh, I like to challenge myself, build resilience, build grit, like to force myself into uncomfortable situations. I like to take ice baths and read and wake up at 1:45 in the morning. I like to go to bed really early, and I like to not hang out with people or drink or party, and I like to focus on myself and build myself up, build my mind, build my body. I want to make a lot of money one day, so I'm going to sacrifice the next 10 years of my life. Probably have a lot of sad days, a lot of lonely days, a lot of lonely nights, long nights, whatever, to make this dream happen, and there's no guarantee that it will. And so that's what I like to do. I don't like to watch movies, you know? And I don't even know what it is about movies, dude. It's just, I don't have any, to my knowledge, and hopefully I do, just to squash the fucking notion that you can't do shit if you have certain conditions. But sometimes I hope that I can get diagnosed with every possible condition so that I can just be the proof that you can do shit with these certain conditions. Because I have hypothyroidism, and apparently a lot of people use that for excuse of why they can't gain weight, lose weight, whatever the fuck. Not really knowledgeable on that specific thing at the moment, but I remember I got diagnosed with it 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I also have a healthy range of testosterone, but it is on the absolute lowest side of the healthy range. So I can't remember what it was. It was, for example, if the healthy range is 200 to 800, mine was like 220, something like that. But either way, I think it's just funny how people... It's just, and you're not a bad person if you don't think the way that the 1% will call it. It's cringy when people say that. But it's just frustrating having to deal with people who have different thought processes, whatever you want to say. So I don't know, man. It's just something I always face. You know, you don't watch movies, so what do you do? Oh, you don't play video games, so what do? You just hang out? That's always what I say, man. How was your weekend? Oh, it's good, man. I just hung out. How was yours? Just completely getting that the fuck out of there. How was your New Year's, man? What'd you do? Oh, man, I took an ice bath, woke up early, went for a run. I was sick. You know, man? I don't know if anybody listening to this can relate or if anybody's listening at all. But that's just something I go through, that I face. And I don't give a fuck. It's just something that I've noticed is recurring. And so anyway, that's that. That's really all I wanted to share today. So episode 81, short and sweet, didn't score 81 points, but we got the job done. I feel really good about this, and I get to go inside and get the rest of my power list done and go to bed and get the ball rolling for tomorrow. So I'm very excited about how things are going. It was a really good day, much needed day. It's also funny to think about that I had a very hard day on the day that I had the least structure and the least amount of responsibility as far as time goes. And now today, woke up earlier than I ever, not than I ever have, but I woke up earlier than I had the last 5 days, took an ice bath. You know, maybe that's what it is. So I don't know. But anyway, that's the show, guys. That was episode 81 of the bq.POV daily podcast show. We got 19 more and we're at 100. Who knows what's going to happen after that, but almost there, dude. Almost there. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.